Hello, I'm Artem Marshenko from agilesoftwaredevelopment.com. On our site we cover agile methods for software development, such as Scrum. One of the key artifacts of the Scrum process is product backlog. That product backlog is a little more than a dynamic list of user-valuable work to be done. And today I'm going to demonstrate how you could manage your product backlog with the help of a simplest possible Excel sheet. To get started, go to agile-software-development.com, scroll down to all-time popular, and choose Simple Product Backlog example. Download this attachment that is just a simple Excel workbook without any macros included. This file comes pre-filled with imaginary project data and looks like it could look after the first release just completed. There is a list of work, there are complexity estimations, there are burndown charts for the current release and for all the work identified. Let's see how this project could have started. Naturally, keep in mind that this example is somewhat simplified for clarity. In the very beginning of the project, you start with a list of requirements and initial complexity estimations. At this point, your product backlog is likely to look as follows. At this point, you most probably don't know all the requirements yet, you don't know what work is going to be done in which sprints. Some requirements might be so uncertain that they don't have any estimation at all. Note this handy formula that copy values from left to right, and also note that at this point formulas for the effort in the whole backlog is equal to effort left in the release 1, since there are no releases yet. The next thing you are likely to do is you separate your product backlog in one or more planned releases. After you split your product backlog into a couple of releases, it should look similar to the following one. Since now your backlog is split into 2 releases, update formulas for the release 1. During the first sprint planning, you figure out the goal for the very first sprint and start working. At the end of the sprint, some of the requests, for example this one, might not get done. Well, then you just move it to the next sprint, just as you would move any other Excel row. Since all the other items from sprint 1 are done, effort left for them is 0. And you get the first meaningful burndown chart update. When your knowledge about market, product, project requirements, technical complexities becomes better, you might figure out that some requirements are not needed anymore. You might clarify the estimations for the previously uncertain items. Some estimations might become bigger, some might become smaller, or maybe some big product backlog item might be replaced with a couple of smaller items. Note that the summary of estimations for replacement tasks don't have to be equal to the estimation of the original task. And then you continue sprinting, and somewhere in the end of the project your product backlog would look similar to this one. This simple example doesn't calculate velocity automatically, but since it is only one data point per sprint, it is rather easy to track velocity manually in the following manner. Note that I am replacing formulas with real values because in a real product backlog, when you will have remove tasks, replace tasks, the formulas might work incorrectly. Well, that's the simplest velocity chart. That's pretty much it. This template is really simple, and the simplicity is both its power and weakness. It is really easy to get started with, but it relies on very basic Excel functionality. There are no complex to fill, but also no handy shortcuts for rearranging rows. No cool formulas for calculating velocity, and when you remove a request from product backlog, you have to strike it out manually. Feel free to use this example, and if you need more functionality, build it into template and tell about it on agile-software-development.com forums. Thank you for watching this tutorial. You can find more videos related to the agile processes and tools at http://agile-software-development.com/videos.